Greetings everyone. The Blood Punch fix of Update 2 is huge, probably one of the biggest updates around, and I know that totally sounds clickbait, but it's not. Hear me out. Now some people are saying it's not fully fixed, so today we're going to take a little deeper dive and figure out what exactly is Blood Punch and why does it matter to you, and by the end of the video you'll have a good understanding of what's going on in the community and Ultra Nightmare specifically. My name is Austin, let's dive right in. So we talk about Blood Punch here. In my next video, I'm going to show off an extremely unique way that I've come up with to test my theories. Consider subscribing if you haven't, because I think this is going to be super cool to see it in action. So first of all, we need to look at what is Blood Punch really? I mean, yeah, it's a punch. It is a melee attack that incorporates a bit of a different attack style than your guns, but what is it, and why does it even matter? So first of all, it is a high-risk, high-reward attack. I believe that id intentionally did it this way. They made it high risk, high reward. What's that mean? Well, you have a very high level of risk when you initiate the attack, but if it pays off, you have a very high level of a reward. So for example, when you go into a Mancubus, more specifically a Cyber Mancubus, for a Blood Punch, to remove the armor, you pull out your ballista and you blast away, killing him in the process, and then blasting to safety. That is a high risk to do that because you need the falter from the SSG, the frag grenades, the ice bomb, whatever, but also very high potential payoff reward. It's risky because you go in close to the Mancubus, you're not social distancing, and, well, I mean, he has an AoE attack too that we should probably mention, that's kind of important too, and you can easily die. But the payoff, if you can nail it, if you can play that fun zone and use those tools correctly that you've learned to get your black belt, as Hugo says, the payoff is immense. You take a very dangerous heavy demon and whittle his armor to literally nothing. And the whole thing about Blood Punch working or not working, see, there have been people that have lost Ultra Nightmare runs to it not toggling. It just didn't work. And here's the thing about it. When you have a high risk, high reward mechanic, you expect it to work 100% as intended. I mean, think about it. What if astronauts said to each other, "Hey Taggart, sure hope our rocket makes it out into space today. Yeah, Flynn, sure would suck if it didn't." I mean, I've never actually heard that, but I assume that's what they would say because it's high risk, high reward. They put their faith and trust in id, well, NASA in their case, id in our case, same difference, to make sure that what they do works. Id wants you to take and calculate, is this risk worth it at this given point in time? With what I know and my abilities and my execution and what I can do, is it worth taking for that potential payoff and reward? That's what they want you to calculate. That's part of what's going on in your head when you're playing Eternal. All these different calculations and things that are spinning around. That's one of them. Because just like those astronauts trust that their rocket is going to go to space and take them to Mars to stop the invasion, well, I mean, I probably shouldn't actually say that because it is almost 2022 and that is when the original Doom timeline takes place. Just saying. Let's stick with that example though. You also have to trust that the Blood Punch is going to work because you have to trust that you're going to go in and it's not just going to be like, and not do anything to the enemy, right? Just a quick mention, if you enjoy what you're seeing, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. The support does help a ton. I also stream on Twitch, live play Ultra Nightmare, and chat interactive challenges. So I've always said, if you raise a concern, if you have a complaint, you need to find a positive resolution or at least a suggestion to put forth to help better that complaint. And so here's my thoughts. The whole Blood Punch issue boils down to a hitbox/collision issue, at least I think so. So what is that? Why does it matter? Well, a hitbox is the area on the demon that you make contact with and you do damage, which sometimes in games, those are bigger. Have you ever played a game and you shoot an enemy or you get a headshot and you're like, well, I kind of missed that, but it's still registered. The enemy probably has a big hitbox. And in Doom, the Spider Mastermind in Classic is a great example. Her hitbox is pretty huge, but also kind of weird. It all just depends on the enemy and the game. So I think that the hitbox issues are a thing, and that they weren't properly tuned for Blood Punch. This ties into the collision of a game. Collision is the whole mechanic behind the hitboxes, you colliding with the enemy, and collision may be broken in that sense. Just like you can use different boosts to dash up walls and go all the way around, that's a type of collision in a game. So if the hitbox and collision is jacked up, what's that mean? What that means is that the range or the area in which the game registers as, yes, this is a Blood Punch, is the issue. Now, at least in 1.1, the patch before this one, you had Blood Punch that would happen like on an orange stagger, or it wouldn't even Blood Punch when it should, depending on your angle. I think it definitely points to hitbox collision issue. Because even in 1.2, you you have to factor in the animations and the falter state. So I've even seen post-patch, a GK that was done on a Revenant that was faltered, you know, when they're kind of like shaking around, like if a boxer hits you in the head, you're going to shake around, that's a falter. And it's a great time to go in for a hit on an enemy, like with a Cybermancubus. So once it was missed a couple times when the player did it, they actually missed 2 Blood Punch attempts and got the 3rd one. Another time I'd heard someone punch a ledge, which is kind of interesting now because we wouldn't have seen that before as he was going for the enemy. I mean, there is no doubt that Blood Punch, I feel personally, has been greatly improved upon, and I have the testing to show it. It feels much snappier and you jerk around more to make your hits, and it just feels overall better. I've had a much higher success rate, but not everyone has, and that's why I want to know what you think. Have you had a success rate? This would be a great way to talk about it in the comment section below. Now, I do want to say that the animation and falter state bugs should be fixed. Blood Punch is a heck of a lot better than it was before, based off my testing and others, but it still does have some room to grow. Now, listen to this. I'm going to go ahead and drop the secret phrase of the video instead of doing it at the end of the video. The secret phrase is... So comment that below in the comment section. Now, there is one thing that this update did not fix, and I'm going to share it with you right now, if you promise not to tell anybody, okay? That is, before we go all ASMR on you here, the update did not fix that when you go in for a Blood Punch, you don't connect. You die, you rage quit the game, uninstall, go leave a negative Steam review and get mad at its software. Just realize that you never actually had a Blood Punch charge. Oops. So yeah, that's probably never going to be fixed. Sorry. Let me know what you think in the comments below. My name is Austin. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you like this video, you learned something today, you want to see more of my stuff coming at you. Check out the videos here, and I will see you in the comment section in the next one.